MLB offseason is basically over, so me and James wanted to do a power ranking of every team after the offseason. We did this before the offseason. You can compare that if you want to go check out that video. I'm sure it'll be somewhere. But now we're going to rank them afterwards. Make sure you're subscribed to the Wind Up. Big shout out to all the members. We appreciate you getting access to those videos early. Without further ado, James, what do we normally do? We do like chunks of 5? How do we do this?
Yeah, chunks of 5. So I think we should start out quickly, go from 30 to 26. I'm sure this will be similar, and these are all teams that we don't really have to spend a lot of time on.
No, you want to get us started?
Yeah. So my 30, Colorado Rockies, still somehow one of the worst rosters I think that's ever been put together in MLB history. 29's the Nationals, which are giving the Rockies a run for their money this year impressively. 28's the Cardinals, 27's the Angels, and 26 the one team I kind of want to talk about a bit in this group is my Chicago White Sox.
Wow. Okay. Yep. Exact same 5, except I had the Angels just a bump ahead of the White Sox. And again, it just comes down to, for me, otherwise, by the way, 30 Rockies, 29 Nationals, 28 Cardinals, 27 White Sox, 26 Angels. Basically the exact same thing. The only reason I gave the slight bump to the Angels is just I do think that they have major league pitchers on that roster, especially like in the rotation. They're not good, but they're major league pitchers. And in the bullpen, I think, again, they just have major league relievers where I think the White Sox are a little bit more in flux. Also, like Zach Neto, I think, is a good ball player. Joe Adell had a great season last year. You still have Mike Trout. I can't really look at the White Sox and find too many guys besides like Colson Montgomery and maybe like Kyle Teal where I'm particularly excited about what they can do in 2026. That's why the Angels get a slight bump. But again, we are talking about just the absolute worst teams in baseball. Like all these teams suck. And especially, you mentioned the Nationals and the Rockies.
So bad.
The Rockies are so bad. It's crazy how bad that team is. And the Nationals to be even close is impressive because they still have James Wood and C.J. Abrams, who are 2 good Major League Baseball players. I don't know if there's more than one above-average player on the Rockies right now.
We're going to play a game, and that game is going to be reading out the Nationals' projected pitching rotation and bullpen right now quickly.
Okay.
So, opening day, I think we're going to see our boy Cade Cavalli.
Classic, my dog.
Brad Lord, Jake Irvin, Josiah Gray, Foster Griffin rounds out the Nationals' rotation.
Foster Griffin from the MPB? He came over?
Oh, he came over. Yeah, he actually might mind to be SP2 for that team this year, possibly SP1. But the bullpen, this is where the Nationals are going to be a slog through the season. Right now, they're going to have probably a closer tandem that looks like Clayton Beeter, former Yankee prospect.
Yep.
Cole Henry, PJ Poulin, Julian Fernandez, Jackson Rutledge, Dickie Lovelady, George Soriano, Griff McGarry. That's right now the projected Nationals opening day bullpen.
I mean, like, the one thing I'll say is we make fun of the Angels for going out and grabbing like these former top prospects and seeing if they have something left. The Nationals are they look like they're looking for warm bodies to just exist on the roster.
Nationals are trying to probably lose on purpose, which is honestly what's happening there. And again, shout out to them if that's the strategy they're going with. But just if you're a White Sox fan, like I think you can be happy that this might be the first year progress can be made. And I think that's a cool thing. Like the infield mix is fun. Like I was telling you last night how much I'm becoming obsessed with Colson Montgomery.
You are, yeah.
Like the batted ball distribution, like the quality of contact for someone that's 23 years old is like he could. If he hit 40 home runs this year, I wouldn't be surprised. Also, if he went down
I would definitely be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. Also, if
he
he went to the minor leagues, I wouldn't be surprised either. Like that's a fun. Like if Colson Montgomery was a 6.5 win player this year, I'd be like that actually makes some sense. Again, also if he went to the minor leagues, I'd say that makes sense too. But Murakami and Vargas
cover all your bases. You're like, if he's really good, I told you so. If he gets sent down, I told you so.
But it's cool to have a player where that top is possible. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, I
that's
agree.
not possible for Miguel Vargas, but like I also think Miguel Vargas can be a decent Major League Baseball player. Same when you're talking Murakami. But like it's at least having those 3 guys, it's like okay, that's a reason to watch for White Sox fans. Like Maidroth, Acuna, like Lenny Sosa, like you have guys on the infield like that are like, all right, it's kind of interesting. Kyle Teal, I think, is awesome. Like, he's got OG catcher leadership vibes. Like, Edgar Caro, there was a great article about him spending his offseason at Driveline, trying to get his bat speed up.
Trying to hit the ball hard at all.
Yeah, because he makes tons of contact by Alden Gonzalez at ESPN. And, like, you talked about the bullpen. Like, Grant Taylor, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Jordan Leisure is not, like, the worst back of a bullpen. Compared to these teams down here, it's like, I'm taking that back of a bullpen. Like, I like Sean Burke. I'm okay with Shane Smith. Like, Sean Newcomb has the classic lefty late bloomer tendencies. Like, it's not – you could look at this White Sox team this year and be like, we might make progress.
Sean Newcomb's going to the pen, right? He's not a starter anymore.
I think they're going to try him first shot in the rotation.
That's a terrible decision. I was going to say, Sean Newcomb's best outcome, I feel like he can either become like Drew Smiley or just become Drew Pomeranz. Just be a lefty in the bullpen.
becoming Drew Smiley. That's exactly what this White Sox team wants. But again, I'm happy that we're totally aligned on the back five.
Yeah, and again, I just want to dump on the Cardinals for a second because it's always great when you can talk about how horrible this team and organization is. Chaim Bloom is going to set them straight at some point, but he has a lot of cleaning up to do, and you saw that with all the trades that were made this season. They're probably going to be the team that wins the most games in this bottom of the tier, but I also think that there's just no way that they win more than like 74. So it's like this is going to be the most boring okay team ever, and I do think they suck, but they probably, like, in terms of wins, they probably are the highest of all these teams.
Yeah, they probably are, but it's probably the worst way to get there. Also, I still feel like by the time you get into the season, Brendan Donovan and Lars Nootbaar, at least by the trade deadline, they're gone as well. Just because why not? And there's at least, like, you might have some fun with some members of this rotation. Like, between McGreevy, Liberatore, like, Richard Fitz, and I guess Hunter Dobbins when he's back. Not Dustin May. Like, there's you want to find two starting pitchers that you could take to your next, like, playoff caliber team. So I think that'll be a fun thing to figure out for the Cardinals.
I think the most fun thing too will be like JJ Weatherholt's going to come up. I think Josh Baez gets a look at some point. Maybe we'll see Tink Hence for the first time in his career. Like,
I'm not the biggest Weatherholt guy. I've told you this.
I know you're not. I think Weatherholt is
ball that hard.
He's going to be a good ball player. I think. I don't think he's going to be like top end tier guy, but I think he's just going to be like a good oatmeal kind of guy to have on your roster in terms of hitting. But also at the same time for this Cardinals team, like the pitchers that you mentioned, bring them to your next playoff rotation. I think the opposite. I think try to juice them for everything that you're worth and cash in instantly.
I'm saying you want to find someone, if you can, bring them to your next playoff rotation. Like, that's kind of the point. Like, you see what Richard Fitz is, and eventually you see Hunter Dobbins, and you give Michael Greavy and Liberatore more shots. Also, as of right now, the Cardinals are going into the season with 9 homegrown players in their starting lineup.
It's a lot.
Which is, again, I think that's cool. Also, maybe you should have made some more deals along the way, but it's something.
All right, let's move on to the next 5 here. I'll get this one started. Going to have one of your favorites here, James. At 25, I've got the Marlins. At 24, I've got the Guardians. 23, I've got the Twins. 22, I've got the Rays. And 21, I've got the Athletics.
Okay, little different. I have some similar teams. With a few of those teams, I have just like a spot or two ahead, not major differences. 25, I have the Twins. 24, I have the Athletics. 23, I have my Marlins. 22, the Pirates. 21, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay, yeah. So same thing, just a little bit different. Talking about some of the teams that were similar in this chunk. Both had the Marlins. You're 2 spots higher. I think, obviously, losing Edward Cabrera definitely hurts that team. Losing Ryan Weathers definitely hurts that team. The rotation is not nearly as strong. And I do think that this team, while they were exciting last year and a fun surprise, there's just going to have to be some regression on a lot of these guys.
There does have to be some regression, but also it is an interesting crew of position players. Like, one that
I think I like the players individually more than I do as a team. Like, I just
don't. The opposite.
I just don't think I like Kyle Stowers. I think he's very good. I like Jacob Marcy. I think he's a solid player. I think Augustin Ramirez does things that people like, but I also think, relatively speaking, I think he's one of the more overrated hitters in baseball right now, because at the end of the day, he actually wasn't very good last year. Like, I think that might be fantasy brain being like, we can get home runs out of a catcher, we can get power, but ultimately at the end of the day, like, I don't know what his value is on a major league roster right now. And then you look around the infield, and it's a lot of question marks. Otto Lopez, I guess, is a major league player, but probably definitely your 5th infielder.
How different is Otto Lopez right now to Geraldo Perdomo at the beginning of last year?
I think there's a difference. Geraldo Perdomo still did hit a little bit. Like, he still had all the counting hitting numbers, and he did always hit for a high average.
He had one season where he was above 100 WRC+. That was 2 years ago. Then it preluded this year. Again, I'm not comparing those two guys. I think we're going to do a video within the next month trying to find the next Geraldo Perdomo. Like, sneaky. I don't think one exists, but like Otto Lopez moving to shortstop
JJ
last year. Yeah, maybe. And being good, that pissed people off. Being really good at defense and letting Xavier Edwards play second where he's really good. Like, that was a very subtle move that the Marlins made last year that shored up the way they just the way they played baseball,
getting outs.
And so the opposite of the Cardinals, when you talk about where these teams are in their rebuild process, the Marlins don't have one Miami Marlins homegrown player in their starting lineup. Like that. Think about that for a second. And the outfield of Marcy, Stowers, Owen Casey, like, talk about intriguing outfields. I'm intrigued by that outfield. 2 Padres, original Padres, by the way, but it is 4 original Padres in this projected Marlins starting lineup on opening day, which is very funny. But I think Marcy's good. I think Stowers is good, and I think Casey has something where he could be good as well. Like,
I do like.
I'm
Casey.
excited. I'm excited to watch that crew. More excited than I've been to watch a group of Marlins position players like ever.
And I think that just might be the sicko baseball fan in us.
Totally, yeah. That's why you guys are all here.
Yeah, I mean, again, we are ranking them 23 and 25. We don't think they're going to be very good still.
No, we're 10 minutes into this video, and we haven't even talked about any teams that we think are going to get close to the playoffs. And also, like, when Robbie Snelling and Thomas White come up, if they do get their shots, I think they slot in to be a good rotation. And like this team they signed Pete Fairbanks. Like, they're clearly going to try to win games, like more so than we think. A Marlins team has tried to win games in the past. Like, there's an intention to build something here. They want to get to 75 wins, and
yes,
you can't say that about a Marlins team in a while. And I think they have a shot to get there.
Go through your 5 again, just so I can see if we have any other similarities in this.
Twins, Athletics, Marlins, Pirates, Diamondbacks.
Okay, yeah, Twins. I had Twins at 23. You had them at 25. That's funny how we did that with Marlins, Twins, just flopped the 2 spots. Something that we talked about before we started recording. Twins, the major league players that they do have are good, and then the rest of the players are really bad. The really fun thing, though, is like we're probably going to see Walker Jenkins at some point next year. We're probably going to see my boy Emmanuel Rodriguez. I've been waiting for since 2021 to get a call up. Like, this guy has been awesome in the minors if he can stay healthy. We're going to see some of the young guys in the Twins org come up. We're going to see what they can do with Taj Bradley, which I think will be fun because he got good towards the end of the season. Their pitching development is great. So let's see what the Twins can do. But yeah, same thing. I still think they're a bottom dweller. And then I want to talk about the Athletics a little bit because this is a team that I had at 21. I think you had at 23 or 24?
I had them at 24.
Okay, 24. I'm trying to buy into the Athletics more. The problem is that their pitching is just, it's so bad. And in that ballpark, that's a nightmare.
This will definitely be a fun MLB The Show team because I think this is blatantly one of the 10 best lineups in the league. And if you really made me like granularly go through that top 10, I could probably sneak them into 7. It's just, as a position player core, it's like as impressive that exists in all of baseball right now.
In terms of like, if you wanted to like day one start right now with a lineup, the fact that you have these young players, and most of them are locked up now, which is really cool. It's one of the most exciting, fun teams in baseball.
Shea Langoliers last year in the second half, I don't think people realize he was one of the best hitters in baseball. Nick Kurtz is one of the best hitters in baseball. Tyler Soderstrom looks like he could be like a 5-win player. Like Brent Rooker, also top 15, top 20 hitter in baseball. Jacob Wilson, great player archetype to mix with all those big power hitters. If you get anything more out of Lawrence Butler, Jeff McNeil, fun you throw in there, and Denzel Clark will be one of the best defensive players in the league, hitting 9th.
And Denzel Clark, keep an eye out offensively. I know he was horrendous, but he did hit the ball hard when he hit it. It's just he almost rarely hits it.
They just probably don't have either a starting pitcher or a reliever. I still like Jeffrey Springs, Jacob Lopez, and Luis Severino enough, but then like after that, the depth is poor. I think that we will see like big-time breakout prospect last year, lefty Gage Jump, get into their rotation at some point this season. I wonder how aggressive a team like the Athletics will be with the PPI incentive bonuses, because with those rules, you basically – these teams I think now really want to get those comp picks. It's a big deal. So to get that comp pick, you either have to call a player up within the first 2 weeks of the season or after August 15th. So then you could preserve that PPI eligibility for the following year. So with Gage Jump, it's probably an August 15th guy, but – let's see if they wind up being around 500. If they want to be aggressive like the Cubs were last year with Cade Horton, say we don't care about the PPI stuff. Or
do we see Leo DeVries at some point this year?
I'd be shocked. Truthfully, he's 19.
Yeah, I mean,
he's going to be in Major League Spring Training. Same with Jamie Arnold's going to be in Major League Spring Training.
I like that pick, by the way, last year. I love that.
It's fun that this Athletics team was able to like get rid of a core, get nothing back in trades, and build another core. Like that is there's something. And Jack Perkins is a guy that will mix in next year. I think he's interesting. Like they have enough interesting stuff, but there's nowhere near enough actual Major League talent to get them to.
I'm stating on the record that will be my late night watch team, though. I will be watching
100,000%.
So many Athletic games.
Well, the ballpark is fun. Also, you talk about the Twins just briefly. Like some of these pitchers are probably going to be good, like Zebby, Taj, Mick Abel, Simeon Woods Richardson after the splitter stuff from last year.
He looked great at the last month and a half. Fantasy baseball guys out there.
He missed a month because of a stomach parasite, and then his last 6 starts. Yes, last August. Yeah, he missed a month because of stomach parasite. He had to get surgically removed. What? And then when he came back, the splitter was a 30% usage rate against the lefties, 15% usage against the righties. Second most thrown pitch to lefties, third most to the righties over those 6 starts. And against some good teams. Yankees, Phillies mixed in, over 30% strikeout rate. And I like Luke Keeschel. Luke Keeschel's a ball player that got some shit to him. Like a lot of the advanced stuff, I'm like, I probably shouldn't like him, but I
definitely should.
Definitely got a vibe with Luke Keeschel. The guy could do things. He's fun.
Scrappy.
Definitely scrappy. Good second baseman right there.
Feels like a baseball rat.
I think he is a baseball rat. I'm happy to stand on that.
All right, let's get it going. Top 20. At number 20, I've got the Pirates. At number 19, I've got the Diamondbacks. 18, Giants. 17, Royals. 16, Reds.
Okay, again, very close. Some obvious traits here in teams, but 20 I have Guardians, 16 Rays, 18 Giants, 17 Reds, 16 San Diego Padres.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Who do you want to start talking with on this one?
Do you want to talk your Pirates, your Diamondbacks, your Guardians, Rays? That's a group I think we have in the same spot but mixed around right before we get to the first teams that kind of matter, like the Giants and the Reds.
Let's talk about the Pirates first. I am so in on the Pirates this year. I'm disgustingly in, simply from the fact that rotation could be one of the best in baseball by the end of the year. Like, it's kind of crazy to say, but just having Paul Skeens and Mitch Keller as like a 4 is going to be great. You have Bubba Chandler, who looks awesome. You have Braxton Ashcraft. You're going to have Jared Jones coming back at some point. I love how this rotation is built. I also love that they went out and got a guy like Brandon Lowe to put on this team. I like the trade of Justin Sin Garcia, not Joe Nixon, Justin Sin Garcia. I like the additions that they've made to this team. Ryan O'Hearn at first base. Like, these aren't groundbreaking moves. But for a team that desperately needed Major League Baseball players in their lineup every single day, I think if you look at a team this offseason who raised their floor, they're one of the biggest raisers of the floor, I think, in baseball this offseason.
Okay, so I have actually the opposite take about them. I think this offseason, this team raised their ceiling, but they have not done enough to raise their floor.
Really?
Like,
Why is that?
I think because if anything happens to one of these starting pitchers, like you're gonna have Po Yu Chen or like Sean Sullivan in a starting rotation. Like, I don't think Hunter Barco's ready to come. I know he got a taste last year, same with Thomas Harrington, but this Pirates team desperately needs to acquire. I mean, not desperately, but like, they're a team where I would love to see a Lucas Giolito or a Zach Gallen just to show up on this team.
I mean, they might.
They badly need one more guy because, like, right now, like, until Jared Jones gets back, you're still rolling the season with Cameron Lazinski, and you do not have an SP6.
You watch your mouth. That's a gamecock. You watch your mouth.
My bad about that. Hand up. But, like, they really, really still need more. That's why I just couldn't put them in the top 20, despite the fact that if this team can find a way to get to 500, and then you can have a Skeens, Bubba Chandler, there's a ceiling there. But I still think the floor is a 70-win baseball team.
I also think too, though, Connor Griffin's going to be their opening day, and as soon as he's on that roster, they're in it. They're in it. That's all I'm going to say.
This is a big glut of National League teams. Like, I don't think get ready. I don't think the Pirates, the Giants, and the Reds are really all that different. Possibly at the end of the day,
I agree with you. Like,
there's a 5-game gap there in the median outcomes.
I think there's 13 good teams in Major League Baseball, which is concerning because how many teams make the playoffs? 12. So yeah, I think there's 13 good teams, and then the rest of them, like especially from 14 to 20, I go, yeah, whatever. You're all kind of the same-ish for me.
So we both had a playoff team from last year. Like, I had them at 20. You had the Guardians, what, 22?
24.
24. This is
I think
just to be honest, this roster is vile.
It is disgraceful what they do. Like, Stephen Vogt is probably going to get them to 84 wins. Like, this is not about what their win total is going to be. But I'm telling you that
power ranking. Yeah,
talent-wise, this is one of the weaker rosters in baseball. And thank God they have Jose Ramirez, and thank God for the Dolans. It drives me nuts that the Dolans get away with this bullshit. That Jose Ramirez signs this. I mean, good for him. Good for Jose Ramirez getting all this money. But man, he could have juiced them for so much more. And the fact that they found their superstar who is helping out these billionaires is driving me crazy. But happy for Jose Ramirez. Happy for J-Ram.
Happy for Jose Ramirez. I'm happy that he gets to be like a one jersey guy for his career. It seems like he wants that. Rafa Nieves, his agent from Republic Sports, was talking about that because people would like to clown Jose Ramirez's agent. Like, that's a classic Twitter joke. We've made that joke plenty of times on this channel. But
I think he follows me.
I think he follows me as well. But like, he was basically like, there's a guy getting a statue. Some guys want statues. I think Jose Ramirez deserves a statue. Jose Ramirez still has a lot of good years left. And the Guardians fans will be in here talking about Stephen Kwan having a bounce-back year, getting more out of Kyle Manzardo and Chase DeLauder. And I do think that those players I just mentioned, you can get good seasons offensively out of those guys for sure. The problem is once you get past that, like, I don't know what is going to happen to the CJ Kayfis, Gabriel Arias, Bo Naylor, Brian Rocchio crew.
I do think like the projections that we're seeing are crazy high for some of these guys. Like I like Kyle Manzardo. 115 I think is a little aggressive for
the 115 on Kyle Manzardo is a big reason that he's not going to face left-handed pitching.
Okay,
but that's baked into that projection.
But I think he's going to have to. Who's going to be the right-handed bat that plays that hits for them? They don't really have. Like, look at this roster. Who's that going to be? Who's gonna let him not face lefties?
I mean, last year he didn't, so I'm sure they're going to find a way. They're probably,
bring Carlos Santana back one more time.
One more trip. Let's do it. Like, the bullpen is still going to be really good. Like,
Like, I don't know if CJ Kafis is 106 right now. I don't think he's going to be a better hitter than Chase DeLauder next year based on projections. They're hard with Gabriel Arias, which is funny because I actually like his makeup in terms of what he could do the most. But like Bo Naylor around league average, Brian Rocchio at 91. We've seen Brian Rocchio play hundreds of games. He's horrible. He can't hit.
But also at the same time, this Guardians team, they always are greater than the sum of their parts, like as a team.
Somehow, yeah.
And the fact that I told you this before we came on, but like the number one thing I'm looking at when I'm doing these power rankings is a team's SP7, and the fact that this Guardians team, like down there, ready to go, like on a moment's notice, they're going to have these are gonna sound like gross names, like Parker Messick, who I think is a major league pitcher, Doug Nikhazy, who's probably a major league 7, a guy that can get you by for a few weeks in June when you need that pitching help. Like that's how this team always stays above water. Like Slade Cicconi's not sexy, Logan Allen not sexy, but like they row the boat forward. They help Gavin Williams, Tanner Bybee, and who I think will be an exciting piece this year, Joey Cantillo. Just help this team again sit around 500 and be ready to strike when one of the other AL Central teams stumbles.
I'm fully aware for the Guardians fans, you guys are going to be close to making the playoffs. I just think that this roster
stinks.
Dog shit. I think this
Terrible.
roster's horrible. I think it's a disgrace to Jose Ramirez. He deserves better.
Two other teams here that we had kind of close together in the National League West, Giants and the Diamondbacks.
Yeah. I just think, again, both these rosters stink. They weirdly both have similarities, though, where the Diamondbacks have Ketel Marte, you have Corbin Carroll, you have Geraldo Perdomo, you have a bunch of really good players on this roster, surrounded by a bunch of nonsense and chaos. Similarly to the Giants, you got Matt Chapman, you got Willy Adames. I'm forgetting one more player on the Giants right now. Who am I forgetting on the line? Rafael Devers. Rafael Devers was the guy. Really good players, surrounded by a lot of chaos. Now, getting Harrison Bader, I think, does help a lot. Put him in center field every single day. They're going to move Jung-Woo Lee to one of the corners. Elliot Ramos was horrible in the second half, so I think there's some skepticism about what he can be. I do like Bryce Eldridge, but again, the projections don't particularly love him, I think, going into the year.
He's probably got to spend more time in the minor leagues.
Yeah, and it's tough for a lefty to hit in that ballpark. Always really is. The other thing, too, is that bullpen's really, really, really bad. Their bullpen's
bad.
Mega bad, and their starting pitching is also mega bad.
Can I raise you another bad bullpen, bad starting rotation?
It's going to be the Diamondbacks.
It's going to be the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, theirs is worse, and that's why they went to 19, and the Giants were 18 for me.
I'm also assuming that the Diamondbacks do just wind up re-signing Zach Gallen on a one-year deal.
Like
and if they do that, then you have your back to Gallen, Kelly, Ryan Nelson, Eduardo Rodriguez, Brandon Pfaadt. And there's not a lot of punch at the top, but at least you have 5 true caliber major league starters, and then you get Michael Soroka as a swingman. You could squint and see how that can get you near 500. I really wonder what makes of Jordan Lawler this season. Like Nolan Arenado being there it's very strange.
It just keeps signaling that they don't think Jordan Lawler's that guy.
At all. Like, and also at the same time, like I think there's indications they're going to give Blaze Alexander a run in the corner outfield, and then like Alec Thomas is still going to play again. Like Pavin Smith
he plays too much.
It's just it's really not a good team. Besides having what looks like could be 3 of the top 10 players in the National League.
Yeah, which is kind of hilarious.
Whereas the Giants just like they have like a little bit worse version of that, but then they also just have Logan Webb, and I think Logan Webb will be able to carry that team a very long way. And despite the fact the back of the rotation is weird, I still believe in Robbie Ray. Like you said, the bullpen might be the worst of any team trying to win in quotes in all of baseball. And I think people are sleeping on Willy Adames.
They are. He wasn't in the top 10 shortstops on MLB. I mean, MLB Network's rankings were horrible, but
he was in the last year's second half. He was one of the best hitters in baseball. Like he's the first 30 home run bat for the Giants since Barry Bonds in 2004.
I know.
I think they're going to be. They're another team that's going to sit around 500 probably, and if a team stumbles and they get hot, they'll just get a spot.
Definitely. Did you have the Reds in this glut too?
I did. I had the Reds one spot. I had the Giants at 17.
Okay, yeah, I had the Reds at 16, so I guess that'll be the last one we talk about. Or we still have the Rays too.
We still have the Rays, yeah. And I did the Padres 16. We'll get to them in the next year.
Yeah, but Reds, just like I put them basically right smack in the middle at 16. I love a lot of the rotation pieces. I love Chase Burns. I love Hunter Green. I love Nick Lodolo. I love some of the young guys that will be coming up. But the lineup, besides Ellie, again, just doesn't excite me at all. They are so 90 to 105 WRC plus for everybody else, and that terrifies me.
Definitely. There is some stuff to be excited about in this lineup, though. Like I really like Sal Stewart. Like I don't think
he might be the second best hitter on that team.
I don't think we're talking enough about the fact that like what Sal Stewart did in terms of like batted ball quality and swing decisions as a 22-year-old. I think he was even 21 when he actually started playing his games last year. So like I think that's a player that should have more helium. That's a player that should have more excitement. He's just kind of like a stocky, like
think
Harry,
it's
like
the
have
position listing.
Italian guy, and like not having a position, but like in terms of a bat, like a bat first prospect, like he should be considered like a top 15 in the sport right now. And I still love Noelvi. Like Noel, I know
you do love him, but his numbers weren't great.
No, I know they weren't, but like he's such a get off the bus guy. Where I'm like, I see Noelvi Marte, I'm like, you're going to be good, right? You're definitely going to be good. And he had that game where he robbed the home run to keep the Mets out of the playoffs down the stretch in that day game, which I was, you gotta be kidding me. But like, this is just a team. We say it every time we talk about them. $50 million of 2026 salary could make this team a top 10 roster in baseball.
Easily. Like,
and they'll just never spell. And like, it's a good blend of ceiling and depth in that rotation, like you said. Like, they actually do have a bit of depth, just having guys like Rhett Lowther still waiting in the wings to be SP6. We both love Chase Burns.
Love him.
Like Andrew Abbott and Brady Singer, like whatever they are, they're at least good depth. Like I think we also will see my boy Hector Rodriguez make the league this year. Former Met on the 40-man roster. Traded for who, Mark?
Tyler Naquin.
That was it. So like there's the fact that him, like Edwin Arroyo, like there's going to be prospects that are going to get chances to play Major League Baseball this year that could be 105 WRC plus guys, like you said.
Could be like every other player on the Reds, not named Ellie De La Cruz. And what's funny is I think Ellie even wound up around there this last year.
I also think, I think he's 109. But like Matt McClain, he can't be as bad as he was last year. Like,
but he also was not as good as probably we thought.
For sure, which is okay. But he's coming off labrum surgery. Like, that's a really serious procedure. Like, he sucked. He was one of the worst hitters in baseball last year. But, like, you probably still get something there. It's just, I wish this team wasn't as boring as it is.
And then let's talk about the Rays before we get going into this top 15 here. Because the Rays are like, I like the pitchers. I mean, I like four of the pitchers. I don't like Steven Matz, but I like Rasmussen. I love Pepio. I love McClanahan. I hope he can pitch at all this year. It would be sick if he could pitch. And Joe Boyle is sick.
Can't wait.
Joe Boyle.
Can't wait for Joe Boyle.
But then, like, this lineup is like...
This lineup might have four of the worst hitters in professional baseball in it.
Nick Fortes,
Taylor Walls, Chandler Simpson, Cedric Mullins could all be in the lineup on opening day, and all of those guys might have OPSs that start with a 5.
They got Justin Henry Malloy. All right, he's going to get some play out there.
He's going to get play out there, and he's going to wind up being a piece. And I also think that this year's big Rays guy that's going to play well, two of them. I think Jake Fraley and Jacob Melton, the Jakes in the outfield.
The Jakes.
I think the Jakes are both going to be plus players. I think you might see like a 3. I think you might see 5 WAR combined out of those guys. And like if you add their OPSs together, you might get to like 1550.
Do you think I saw a projection for infamous player of 6 games? Do you think he plays over under 6 games, James?
I have a feling he's not playing those 6 games.
That's great. Why is he getting a projection?
Because just when you put all that stuff into the model, like they're like, all right, if he might, you know what I mean? Like,
I will say it is insane to see 6 projected games. 20. They're like, he'll hit a home run, 3 RBIs. You're like, how do you even come up with that? That makes me think that sometimes this shit is all bullshit.
No, it's the opposite because you would be extrapolating that over the full year. So it's just like he would if he played 162 games, put that 6 times whatever you get to divide 162 out of. That's what you get. But let's get past that one. But like also Carson Williams will play. Like he'll be good at defense. I don't think he's gonna hit it at all. Like I don't know. It's this Rays team is just sadly so not interesting. But if they were in the AL Central, they'd probably be like 3 spots ahead.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I still have them better than the Guardians, who are probably going to win the division somehow.
Yeah, right, exactly. But 15 through 11 right here?
Yeah, hit it, James.
Again, I had the Padres 16. So 15, Texas Rangers. 14, my Kansas City Royals. 13, Houston Astros. 12, Detroit Tigers. 11, Milwaukee Brewers.
Whoa, okay. So we are kind of in the same range. So I had...
Shocker.
Padres 14. You had them at 16.
Who'd you have 15?
Rangers 15. Same exact spot. Had the Padres 14. Orioles 13.
Oh, okay, I bet I'm higher than the Orioles.
Tigers 12. Astros 11.
You put our Kansas City Royals in the top 10?
No, Royals were 17.
Oh, okay. I missed you mentioned the Royals. Like, wow, I can't believe you're higher than the Royals than me.
Yeah, Royals were 17. Let's start with the Royals. Let's talk about them because you texted me the other night. You're drinking the Royals Kool-Aid. This is your team this year. Someone get James a baby blue jersey. He's gonna rock it all year long.
I have
baby
one,
blue
Bo
Bobby
Jackson.
Witt. But yeah, I think they're better than they were last year. I think that's a better team. I still just get very nervous about the overall quality of the hitting of this team. And I know you're looking. This is what's great about us. You're so focused on pitching, and I'm so focused on hitting. Like, essentially, James's power rankings are going to be like a pitching power rankings, and mine are going to be hitting.
But here's the thing about the lineup, which I agree with you about being afraid of what this lineup could be. I think there's 2 things that are really helpful to this lineup. One, you have 2 lightning rods, two boomsticks that you could get absolute suboptimal hitting, or you could get two legit all-stars, and Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen. Like, I think that, and we put out the award thing the other day. Sucks that we talked about 2 weeks ago, then Foolish Baseball went his diatribe saying Carter Jensen is going to be Rookie of the Year. We recorded that 3 weeks ago, and I said that, but shit happens. Content world. And Foolish is great, so I don't care, but like...
Smart minds.
Carter Jensen might hit 30 homers here. And another big thing that I don't think people are talking about enough with this team is they're bringing the fences in.
Yes.
I think when the team brings the fences in, it could do more for the confidence of a ball club, even than it affects on the field. And guys like Michael Garcia and Vinny Pasquantino, like that is just, there's going to be a big help in those guys, especially because
Vinny Pasquantino's probably going to hit 30-something home runs.
And like those are guys who I've begun to believe in their floor. Like at least, I mean, Michael, he could definitely revert back just being a pure league average hitter, but just defensively base running, like he's a plus player. When you have Bobby Witt in the middle, and then you have these two guys on the backside who could be freaks of nature. Like, this is a lineup that might sneak better than you think. When you have a lineup that, in my mind, I think could sneak better than we think, and a rotation I think could be one of the few best in the American League, especially with the depth that they compiled at the trade deadline last year. Talk about SP6 and SP7.
We've got like 20 of them.
Ryan Berger and Steven Kolek. That's what we're looking for in these power rankings right there. To help Cole Reagans if he actually can stay healthy.
And they signed Aaron Sanchez to a minor league deal. It could be SP12.
It could be SP12 right there. Aaron, we're not going to talk about Aaron Sanchez in this show, but like there's stuff going on there where I'm like, show me something, Royals. Win this division.
And I do like their bullpen. Like, I like Nick Mears. Nick Mears.
It's a deep bullpen.
Matt Strom's your boy, and he's been great. They brought him back to Kansas City. Lucas Urseg's awesome.
Urseg's nasty.
Carlos Estevez is completely fine, middle of the pack closer. And then
he's probably their best reliever in this bullpen. Estevez.
Bailey Falter's in this team. He might
That's
be in the
bullpen.
Talk
about SP6, SP7. We got Bailey Falter.
Alex Lang, someone that was good for the Tigers a few years ago. They brought into this bullpen as like let's throw a dart and see if it lands. I like that. I think they're a decent team. I think they definitely got better. And I'm interested to see what happens like in the first month. I think we will learn a lot with that new ballpark and this roster, what they look like.
And again, like having guys like Schreiber and Daniel Lynch. I mean, Daniel Lynch has now gone to the bullpen. He's been better there. Like Schreiber can get outs as a veteran reliever. Like this is a team that was built to be the third wild card. And
so built to be the third wild card.
And I think this team can be the third wild card. Like even getting a guy like Isaac Collins, like I think he's just a major league caliber outfielder. Like I don't think he's going to wow anybody. Like last year, he peaked in Rookie of the Year conversations in August. Like he'll resort back to being like a 105 WRC plus guy who can play good outfield in the corner. Like, and this Royals team desperately needed a guy like that. And again, a lot of this does come back to the fact that Bobby Witt is one of the few best players in baseball.
Yes.
And if Jack or Carter Jensen is like, I'm going to be a 30 homer bat ready to go.
You might be convincing me, James. Maybe I'm gonna hop on the Royals' future.
Ready to believe. Ready to believe right there. And if Reagan's healthy for 150, then they could just win the division.
Yes, definitely.
All right, can we talk about the Padres?
Yeah, let's go Padres.
This team stinks.
Talk about SP 7, 6. I'm trying to figure out who SP4 is. SP3 even at times.
I mean, just the strangeness around the Yu Darvish retirement, not retirement, was really weird a few weeks ago. Like, the top of this lineup is still great. They still have so much star power with Fernando Machado, Jackson Merrill. I don't know who's going to pitch for this team. Like Joe Musgrove off the Tommy John, Michael King probably approaching Tommy John, and Nick Pivetta trying to outrun every single bit of regression that anyone can have in the entire world. And then, this team is so reliant on JP Sears right now.
Which is terrifying, because the A's were like, we don't want to rely on JP Sears.
If JP Sears is not good this year, I don't think the Padres make the playoffs. That's a weird way to start this conversation, but, it's the truth.
I mean, just, the whole roster is exactly what made what AJ Preller did so terrifying, is because if there's one thing, literally one thing that goes wrong for this team this year, it's the season's just over. They can't handle one extended injury from Tatis, Merrill, and Machado. Like, they missed 2 weeks, season's over. Done. They don't make the playoffs.
They can't really, and even if everything goes perfectly, I think their ceiling at this point is 86 wins.
Yeah, it's tough with the current roster. And again, going back to what I was trying to say with what was scary about what AJ Preller did, going balls to the wall, trying to win, like in the way that he did with trading any prospect that ever existed in this organization. This is what happens now. If people get hurt, this is gonna be insane now. Like, Ethan Salas might just come to the majors this year, and we know he can't hit a lick because they have no backup catchers. Look at all their guys in the minors in the depth, AAA, AA. there's almost nothing. Like,
No.
there's no. I don't know who some of these guys are. Who the hell is Francisco Acuna? I have no idea. He's their third shortstop.
I mean, I also think like now get ready just because a lot of these Padres prospects will be better than we think right now. Like all the top hundreds are out. A lot of lists didn't have a single Padre on it, which is kind of funny. Like Ethan Salas probably is a back end top 100 prospect. What does that face?
I know who their 4 or 5 starters are going to be.
Who?
I've got
Tristan McKenzie and Marco Gonzalez?
Yes,
Yes,
Tristan McKenzie, Marco
100%.
Gonzalez. Marco Gonzalez is still trying. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, good for Marco Gonzalez. Like Jorge Quintana, you're going to hear this year being like the helium prospect for sure, and he will be traded for probably another reliever at the trade deadline. That's just what happens. Cale Fountain, I don't know if anything happened with Cale Fountain. He was fun a few years ago. I have not kept up enough with Cale Fountain. This team just again, to me, this team stinks. I'm completely done with the San Diego Padres. I'm ready for them to fall apart, be bad. This year, Machado missed some games. They wind up trading Tatis. Like Merrill is the shit, but like there's. Like Gavin Sheet's probably better than we think too. Same with Laureano. Like Bogarts at least is viable again, which I think is meaningful for him. Cronenworth,
like I see 3 awesome hitters, 4 league average hitters, and then who cares about 8-9? Everybody's 8-9 is going to stink. It's just the depth. It's the depth that I'm terrified about with this team.
And I think that was we kind of knew that was going to happen with this team eventually. Like you can't keep kicking the can down the road and expecting things to work out when you don't win. Last year they went out sad with Jose Iglesias screaming at an umpire. Like it's just this team is not.
He's suspended to start the year. Whatever team he's on, he's suspended. I think
a game, right?
Yeah.
I think this team just not built to succeed. I'd be shocked if they are within 15 games of the Dodgers.
Yeah, this current iteration I think is tough,
Yeah.
which also talks about how horrible the National League West is because they're our
like,
highest ranked National League West team besides the
Dodgers. Well, yeah, them and the Giants I think are much closer than I think they're getting credit for in the media. Like I think them, the Reds, the Diamondbacks are all going to be in a dogfight.
Yeah, definitely. We had the Rangers both at 15.
Yeah.
Just smack on average. I don't feel any way about this team. Besides that, I think they got unlucky last year, so I think they're due for some positive regression. But also at the same time, talk about
Progression?
pitching depth. What?
Some progression?
You've said positive regression before.
I know, I'm fucking with you.
But like also at the same time, like their pitching depth, I like their 6-7 starters, but they're not good. It's just me liking them. Like there's no reason to think that they're good.
Who are you, Kumar Rocker, and who else?
Yeah, I love Kumar Rocker. I'm always going to believe in Kumar Rocker. And Brock Porter's going to pitch at some point, isn't he?
You think Brock Porter's going to pitch at some point? I think
Probably
that
at some point.
I
And
mean,
like,
to me, their 6-7 starters are, but their 7-8, their 6 starters Kumar Rocker. There's 7 starters Austin Gomber, and then their 8 starters Cal Quantrill.
Austin Gomber's going to have a big year.
Like Austin
him out of
Gomber's going to
Colorado.
pitch for them. Nabil Krismat's going to pitch for them. Like that's what's going to happen. And it's like this Rangers team did get unlucky last year. Like that's 100%. Like because just I don't know what happened to that lineup. But then you hear everything that's come out this offseason about Corey Seager and Marcus Semien having their split, the team not spending time together like on the road. Like it's a bad vibe there. It seems like there was a leadership chasm. I think Brandon Nimmo will be a good stabilizing bat for their lineup, but like if he plays right field,
That's bad.
you're gonna see guys. You'd be able to see like Benjamin Molina go first to third, like that. It's just going to happen. Like I guess Jake Burger's probably gonna be better. Like Evan Carter if he stays healthy. Like Josh Young, I guess can't be this bad.
Wyatt Langford is awesome.
Wyatt Langford's great. And
Did you
Corey Seager's
see MLB Network didn't have them on their top 10 left fielders right now? Wyatt Langford was not listed, wasn't even on the honorable mention.
Yeah, that's incorrect. Wyatt Langford might go like 260, 30, 30 this year.
Yeah.
Like he's a very good player, but like and DeGrom's great. I think Gore adds intrigue.
Yes.
But like DeGrom, Nathan Eovaldi is like
And
You
even
got-
throw Gore into that. Talk about like 3 guys that I'm like, if you're a Rangers fan, you're like, please let there be a baseball god.
I'm seeing last year, like you got 300 innings out of DeGrom and Eovaldi, and you still didn't make the playoffs. Are you getting 300 innings out of those guys again?
I don't know. And then are you getting good innings out of Mackenzie Gore? That's still a huge question mark right now. Is if you can get more out of him.
I used to hope there's a plan for him. Like Jacob Latz is fun too. Like he's a good back end pitcher. I like
Jack
Jacob
Leiter looks
Latz.
decent.
Jack Leiter looked at least major league caliber. Like there's intrigue with this team, but they're just. I'm happy for them that they won their championship because
Yes.
that's it.
Yeah, and their bullpen, by the way, is it's really bad.
We like Robert Garcia though. We're big Robert Garcia guys. And Chris Martin is talk about stability.
Stable, yeah.
That's all he is. Like Cole Winn will be a good reliever. Jacob June is probably okay still in the bullpen. Like Alexis Diaz should give it a shot, but we like Robert Garcia, Chris Martin. Like you could do worse.
13, you had the Astros, right?
Yes.
I had them at 11. I think like they're just good. I think it's a good team. Getting Amai helped out a lot. Again, their starting pitching is still a little bit chaotic, But at the end of the day, like I look at that lineup, feel pretty confident at it. I look at that bullpen, feel pretty confident. I look at some of the guys that are going to come up and be the fill-ins. I feel pretty confident about this team this year.
Jeff Bagwell had a quote the other day talking about the team where he was like, as long as Jordan stays healthy, he's going to be one of the best lineups in the league. It's like, why are you saying that now?
Yeah.
It's like, why are you even putting that into the universe? But, like, Jeremy Pena will not repeat what he did last year. Like, Jeremy Pena, he was on pace to be a 7-win player last year. I think Jeremy Pena is a great all-around baseball player, but I can't see him going 300 20-20. I just can't do that. Maybe Correa was good after the trade. I think he'll be good. Christian Walker will be better. It's still just like Zach Cole. Talk about a specimen.
He's fun.
I would like for Zach Cole instead of spring training to go to the NFL Combine. I want to see what we get out of Zach Cole. Yeah, just see him do a shuttle, see what we get there. But like Isaac Paredes is also quite good. Like I don't know, man. Like this,
I feel like they have a high floor. Like I feel like the bad outcome for this year is like they win 85 games.
They're just, to me, it's like I think about like the late stage of the Holy Roman Empire, like when the Habsburgs were coming into power. Like nice. I was like, you guys aren't good anymore. I know you're trying to patch it together. It's not really the same regime, but you make us think it is. It's not the same.
Like Jeff Bagwell said, though, it really does all ride on Yordan Alvarez. He has a healthy season. They're just going to probably be close to winning the AL West.
They'll just probably just be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like last year they missed it. Everything had to go wrong for them to miss it. Like as long as Imai is fine, I think he'll be pretty good. Like Burrows is solid. Like Javier and McCullers, good luck.
Yeah.
They made that trade the other day for K-Ting Wang from the Giants.
My boy?
Yeah, but which I can't believe the Giants got rid of him.
Throw
if I'm gonna be
90
honest.
poo, someone took him?
Or I'm like, why are the Giants dumping him right now? K-Wei Tang. Like I like Blue Ba. Like Spencer Arrighetti can be fun. Like they have put the pitching depth back together and they needed to do that. I'm just so unenthused.
I think that's fair. I think they're a boring team.
So I had the Tigers and the Brewers in my 11 and 12. Do you have them in your top 10?
I had Tigers 12.
Okay, so same on the Tigers. It's like, why aren't you trying harder?
Yeah, it's annoying. And I think Tigers fans probably feel the same way. Because, like, I think there is a very good core here in Detroit. Like, I love Riley Green. I like Spencer Torkelson on the offensive side. I think Colt Keith's going to be a good little player. Kerry Carpenter, Kerry Bonds is awesome. And then all the other pieces around, like Glaber's not a part of the core, but he's on this team. Glaber's good. I know you're not a big Wenzel Perez guy, but like I think it's more so I'm not a big Wenzel Perez playing every single day guy out.
That's my problem. Yeah,
that's the problem. I like their depth. Rotation wise, a little scary, but you still have Tarek Skubal. So like he's gonna win you 30 games this year. Like
you just had a team that was on like the last 2 years, like not a lot had to have changed to actually like reach the World Series.
Yeah.
And if you reach a 7-game series with Tarek Skubal, you can win a 7-game series. That's it. And there've just been no meaningful improvements. Like Glaber came back on the qualifying offer. I think Glaber's an underrated baseball player. Like we know there's no ceiling anymore, but like the top of this lineup is good. It's just the fact you're going to go into the season, like you said, Wenzel Perez, Zach McKinstry, Parker Meadows are all expected to be everyday players. It's like, why?
My bold prediction is that I think they're going to be unreal aggressive with these prospects. I think there's a chance we see. Well, I think McGonigal will just be on the roster opening day. I think they should. I think there's no reason for him not to be the shortstop going into opening day. I know you got Zach McKinstry, but he's best as a utility guy. I also think if Max Clark continues, like bring Max Clark up. Let's see what you got there. Like he's going to be a very good defensive outfielder at the absolute worst, and it looks like he can hit. Give him a shot. Give him a look. I like Hei-Yu Lee. I don't know if you know about Hei-Yu Lee.
Oh, I like Hei-Yu Lee.
He just mashed in the minors. Like,
he plays.
See what he's got. I think that's kind of their plan this year, which is why they didn't go harder. I hate it. I don't love the plan, but I do think ultimately that's what ends up happening. And they do have some guys like Troy Melton, your boy, like some
Troy Melton.
6-7 starters that are something that could be better than a lot of other teams. That's where I do think the Tigers have a strength. I think there's a lot of good players. I think they're lacking that punch that they could have had this offseason.
I mean, Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter have that punch. Like those are plus hitters. Those are real good hitters. Those are like 125, possibly 130 WRC plus guys. And Melton, Kader Montero, Sawyer Gibson Long, even Ty Madden, like they have starting pitching depth. And they put this bullpen together kind of nicely. Like Kenley Jansen is a real unifying figure, I think for a team like this.
Perfect closer for them.
Like Will Vest and Kyle Finnegan are a good setup duo. Kyle Finnegan making great adjustments with the splitter last year after being traded to the Tigers. Yeah, Tyler Holton, Brant Herther, like still out there. Like this is a good bullpen. Because of Skubal, it's a good rotation, and it's just a good lineup. So again, there's a good team. They need something great. Maybe McGonigal is what's great, and that's what kind of make them be a top 10 club, get them over the hump. But it's just like you had top 5 payrolls a decade ago. Why don't you get close to doing that anymore?
Got scared. I guess they got scared. And then you had the Brewers at 11. They're in my top 10, so we'll talk about them in a second.
Who'd you have 11?
I had the Astros.
Okay, yeah. So, yep.
All right, number 10, I had the Atlanta Braves. Number 9, I had the Milwaukee Brewers. Number 8, I had the Seattle Mariners. Number 7, Chicago Cubs. And number 6, Philadelphia Phillies.
Okay, so again, close, but we're a little off here. 10, I had the Chicago Cubs. 9, I had Baltimore Orioles, so I guess we'll talk about them because they were in the back for you. 8 was my Atlanta Braves. 7, Seattle Mariners. 6, Boston Red Sox.
Okay, yeah, so all in the same range. Let's go Orioles first just because they were outside my top 10, inside of yours. I'm still scared of that starting pitching. I think they're going to sign Framber, and I think once they do, top 10 team in baseball. I think they also got very unlucky last year with injuries and everything that was going on. It was a nightmare season. I do think they're going to turn around. But until they have Framber Valdez on that roster, it scares me a little bit because that starting pitching is crazy.
Oh, yeah, agreed. But the starting pitching, at least there's bodies there. And I think the more I've thought and looked into Shane Baz after the trade, the more I think he will be a good pitcher this year, especially the splits last year in and outside of George Steinbrenner Field where the Rays played, which is always going to be funny to say. It's like he probably is good. I love Kyle Bradish. I think Kyle Bradish might be a top 15 pitcher in the league this year.
I like
my first pass through starting pitcher rankings, I think I had him like 23, and I think I was like, I can even nudge him up. Trevor Rogers will not be as good as he was last year.
But
We get accused all the time of forgetting that Trevor Rogers exists because we just don't consider him. I consider him still worse than those two guys I just mentioned, but I think he'll be a good pitcher for sure.
3.5, 3.6 ERA.
And if he does what he did last year again, he'll be a great pitcher. He'll be locked in at Trevor Rogers. And like Helsley, Kittredge, whatever you think of Ryan Helsley right now, and me and Mark don't have very kind things to say about him, he's probably still just a good reliever. Like, same with Tyler Wells, Rico Garcia, Keegan Aiken. Like, it's a fine bullpen. It's a bullpen that can win you baseball games when you might have the best lineup in baseball. They might have the best lineup in baseball.
Yeah, adding Pete Alonso was sick. It was an awesome move. Like,
I never forgot about Taylor Ward.
Yeah, take off the Mets hat. Sick move. Taylor Ward in the outfield. Great move. Jackson Holliday, like, hitting towards the bottom of that order is pretty good for this order. Gunnar Henderson is one of the best players in baseball. I think people slept on him last year. Forgot. He's one of the best players in baseball. Jordan Westbrook's awesome. Colton Cowser has to have a bounce back. He's too good. He had a weird season again, dealt with injuries, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the thumb. Dylan Beavers is really fun. Dylan Beavers did some really cool stuff towards the end of the year. Adley Rutschman, I think, at the worst, will be a league average hitter. Samuel Basayo is going to be playing. You still got Kobe Mayo waiting in the wings ever. Never give up on Kobe Mayo. Like, I do like this team a lot. Again, I need to see Framber to put them in the top 10 for me.
Yeah, I think Framber is basically going to be them or the Giants. It's just whoever wants to do it. I guess whatever he wants to do at the end of the day. I think whoever misses Framber might make the move to get Giolito or Gallen anyway.
Probably,
so I do think there will be another major league pitcher. I just assume they're going to the season with one more pitcher. They were too aggressive early. Now they're just trying to wait out this pitching market because it still seems like it favors the teams because there's 3 guys, not that many teams trying to sign guys. So I think they will get that. And again, this lineup will be top 5 in the league. And they'll be, if everything clicks with those younger players again, they can compete for number 1 overall lineup.
Definitely. All right, where do you want to go next?
Brewers.
Yeah, I had Brewers at 9.
Let's talk Brewers Cubs together.
Okay, I had Cubs 7, Brewers 9. You
I had Cubs 10, Brewers 11.
Okay. The Brewers are kind of like the Guardians I respect, where like I look at their roster and I go, like, I think the Brewers roster is much better than the Guardians. First off, I think it is way better. But like similarly of like kind of just no name-ish guys that I just believe in because they're the Brewers.
Yeah, I mean somewhat, but like they're not really no name-ish anymore. Like I think the Brewers,
like Caleb Durbin, if Caleb Durbin was a Guardian, I might think he sucks. There's a total chance I would think he would stink if he was on the Guardians.
Caleb Durbin, Sal Frelick, Jet Williams, like it's the same concept, it's the same idea. We're just packaging it in a different way. But like this Brewers team, the middle tier of this roster is more secure than it's been in a while.
Definitely,
it's funny that they can even still be arguably a top 10 team after trading their SP1 and SP7, which is pretty amazing to the Mets, who we'll talk about soon. But like, if they unleash Mizorowski,
then he's one of the 15 best pitchers in baseball at worst.
Literally. And even if they keep him on like a 5 inning per start, like he'll probably still be like the 33rd best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah,
like,
which would be good.
Woodruff was so good last year, but there's just some still question about him with the velocity and the command where he winds up. I'm big on Logan Henderson, but again, there was a strange injury with him at the end of the year as well. But the fact that they were so confident to trade those 2 pitchers makes me think that they're confident in Woodruff and Logan Henderson. And then Priester and Chad Patrick will just be major league pitchers. Like, there's going to be no issue there. And then just like continuing down their pitching depth, because you know how much I love that. Like Sproat will pitch in the majors, Robert Gasser will pitch in the majors, and they will both be at like good, solid major league pitchers. The fact that they're still 7 deep after dumping 2, it's like this team has some teams you assume things will go wrong. With the Brewers, we assume things will go right at this point. And that like, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Their prospects are sick, and we're going to start seeing some of them. Like, along
Well,
with
probably 1 year away from seeing them.
so maybe the sickest guys, but like along with like adding them to William Contreras, Bryce Terang just looks good. I think he's just going to be a good player
great.
now. I think he's a good hitter. Jackson Chourio is great. Christian Yelich is going to mash as long as he's healthy. The floor is unbelievably high for this team. That's one of the reasons why I put them inside the top 10. And then again, some of the guys that we might see this year that will be coming up, like we're probably going to see Brock Wilken, I think, at some point. I love Brock Wilken. I'm a huge Brock Wilken fan. Love the
Where's he play,
though? Third base.
But you think he plays third base? The Brewers are such a defensively minded team.
Good ball player.
You think they kick Durbin off there to get Wilken in the lineup?
I think that they give Wilken a shot. I mean, there's going to be injuries too at some point, so you're going to have to see some guys come up.
Yeah, for
Cooper
sure.
Pratt, Jet Williams. Like I love both of those prospects. I love Jet when he was with the Mets. I love Cooper Pratt. Cooper Pratt's a physical specimen. Talk about differences. I'd love to see the picture of Cooper Pratt standing next to Jet Williams. There might be a foot of difference between those guys in terms of height. And then even just some of the minor league depth guys that they have in the outfield, like Akil Baddoo is a fun little Brewer guy. Like I'm just going to believe that the Brewers are going to get him at one point to win like a National League Player of the Week.
And Chourio, Yelich, Contreras, those guys all are
good.
Like, that's legit star power there. And if Bryce Terang does what he did last year again, then he's just like top 5 second baseman in baseball.
Yeah, literally.
Pretty easily. So if this team is just stable. But I do have the Cubs a bit ahead of them because the Cubs are just a little bit better.
Yeah, I had the Cubs 2 spots ahead of them.
The Cubs are boring, but they're a really good baseball team.
Talk about a team that I'm going to watch 0 games of. The Chicago
none.
Cubs have got to be the least interesting team maybe to ever exist in baseball. That being said, it's a good team. It's a very good team. Cubs fans are going to scream, but I have no interest in watching 4 of your 5 starting pitchers throw 91 miles an hour. Like that's just not interesting to me. I know the bullpen's got some juice a little bit now with Hunter Harvey and Palencia's out there obviously throwing gas. The lineup's very solid. Mo Ballesteros is one of your favorites. I think he's going to be very good. Tyler Austin's crazy that he's going to be playing again and that he's projected for a 112 WRC+. Get the fuck out of here.
Tyler Austin was one of the best hitters in the MPB the last few years. And Tyler Austin, again, that WRC+ projection is because they only expect him to play the periods against left-handed pitching. Yeah. He will be the lefty matcher. Like he's going to show up when the lefty's on the mound and Mo Bo's on the bench, and he's going to crush.
Or he's going to play first base against the lefties when Michael Busch.
Michael Busch is the guy that when we say these things about the Cubs, he's the one that Cubs fans come with us with the most vitriol, where it's like Michael Busch became a star. And it's like
I like Busch more than you.
I think I just need to see Michael Busch do it one more time to believe he's a star. Like the batted ball quality is great. Like I won't take that away from Michael Busch. And he last year he hit like a star. He performed like a star. He dipped in the second half and he kind of popped back up a bit in the playoffs. But
I'm willing to say I love Busch. So I mean,
there you go.
I'm all about Busch.
Bold. I want to see a guy like Michael Busch sustain that kind of insane power output, like with the bat speed that he has. He might be able to. And if he does, then I'm way back in. If Michael Busch is a 130 WRC plus guy, if he's an 880 OPS, I feel a lot better about this Cubs ceiling. But like right now, in terms of a team where the ceiling and floor are like this close together,
yes,
like that's Chicago Cubs. Like
that is the Chicago Cubs.
The Cubs ceiling is winning 1 game in the NLCS against the Dodgers.
Yeah,
and their floor is losing in 5 games to the Brewers or the Mets in the DS.
And it's like you probably win like 91 games, and worst case scenario, you probably win 87.
Yes. But again, that seems like what the Ricketts want is a team that you can rely on all year, make the playoffs,
get
when
a
you're not
playoff
winning
check.
the World Series.
Yeah.
Yes, get that playoff check. Like Dansby, like Bregman. I'm curious about what happens last year for Nico Horner. I'm curious about how much Nico Horner might hate Matt Shaw. Like that's gonna be fun. I'm curious what Pico Armstrong does. I like say Suzuki and Happ still. Like this solid baseball players 1 through 9 here. Like Carson Kelly was good last year. We talked about Mobo.
And that's why I put them at 7. I had them outside the top 5 because they're not interesting and I don't think they can actually make noise, but I think they will be there.
So I had them 10, but I had them again behind the Orioles because I'm giving the Orioles one more pitcher. I had them behind the Braves and also behind the Mariners. Should we talk about Braves?
Yeah, let's talk about the Braves a little bit. This is, by the way, hour. We've hit flow state.
I mean, we're just moving. I was like, while we were doing this last one, I checked how long the one we did before the offseason was, and that was only 43 minutes. This is like, we got so much left to say.
Now half the time we're like, we don't know what these teams are going to look like. Now we're like, oh, we know what these teams are going to look like.
The Braves, so you guys might yell at me for this. The Braves are the sexy Padres.
Yes. Oh, totally.
If anything goes wrong for this Braves team, I do not know how they recover, but if everything goes right, they could win the World Series still.
The Braves are the Dodgers of the Padres.
The Braves are the Dodgers of the Padres. It's exactly what they are there. Because they are. Like, I think the world's collectively forgotten that Ronald Acuna Jr. is like one of the 4 best players in the game.
He is going to have like what are his MVP odds? I will be hammering them. He's going to crush.
Like he's sensational. Matt Olson is still just like sometimes he oscillates up and down, but he's a great baseball player. Like Drake Baldwin is
awesome.
Talk about like someone who could be like legit, like star, like Drake Baldwin can do that if he just hits like he does again. The defense even matriculates up a little bit. Like Austin Riley, I don't know what to think about Austin Riley anymore. I still want to love him, but like I don't know why.
I think
Ozzie Albies,
there was
I love
something that
the
happened
fish.
with didn't like his private hitting coach like die. Like
I
and I
think it
think
was 2 years ago now, and last year was poor again. But he's had also weird injuries, and he's gotten hot, but then he's gotten injured while he's been hot. Like he's a strange player to evaluate this time, especially because we kind of have to throw all of the Braves 2022 stats out the window at this point. I just don't know why they were all so good that year, and they have never been able to live up to that since. Like it's really strange. And the rotation again, like you show me Chris Sale, Spencer Schwellenbach, Spencer Strider, I'm like hell yeah. But then I'm like, oh wait, but something could go wrong for all of them.
Braves have got extremely favorable projections on some of their guys. Like Michael Harris is projected for a 110 WRC plus right now.
Well, because projections bake in all of the last few years, especially the projections you see on Roster Resource are Steamer projections because they're Fangraphs projections.
Yeah.
Steamer uses the most precise measurement. We just take what you guys did in the major leagues production wise.
Okay, because I was like, Michael Harris last year was one of the worst hitters for 140 games.
Besides that month.
Yeah, or 130 games. My bad.
Wait, you filibuster on the Braves. I have to plug my charger in.
Oh, go plug your charger in. Okay, so let me be a Braves hater, but also saying why they're still a top 10 team because I think I had them at what I have them at. I had the Braves at was that number 10? Yeah, I had the Braves at 10. I like Chris Sale's still awesome. Spencer Schwellenbach's awesome. Spencer Strider probably can't suck as bad as he did last year, but I'm rooting for him to suck because he's a Clemson guy and a Brave, so I just double hate him. Ronaldo Lopez and Hurston Waldrop I think are fun 4-5s, but similarly again, looking at depth of this team. It's terrifying. Like we're gonna see Bryce Elder probably get 25 starts throughout the year, and that guy still mega stinks. I don't know how he keeps getting away with it. Their bench is horrible. Their farm system's horrible. I think their bullpen is fragile. I think their bullpen's very, very fragile. This team is fragile. Like James said, they're the Dodgers of the Padres. If they have one thing go wrong again, I don't know how they recover.
Well, I mean, you missed a huge signing they made yesterday then because they got the pitching depth covered. Martin Perez.
Oh, I didn't. I missed Martin Perez. Shame on me.
He might throw 100 innings this year for this Braves team if anybody gets hurt. And there's a lot of guys here that can get hurt. It's just, and also like the fact that they kind of played the slow game with Ha-Seong Kim. Huge friend of the channel, Ha-Seong Kim. We love Ha-Seong Kim here in the windup. Kim. When they actually finally signed him for the contract they wanted him to after he declined the option, became a free agent, he trips. He said he slipped on ice in Korea and broke his finger.
Yeah, I got questions about that one.
Yeah, we'll see. But he's not going to be playing for you until May, June, like the earliest. Now you're back to the Mauricio Dubon and they signed Jorge Mateo to be the shortstop tandem to open the season. It's like
Mike Yastrzemski's their left fielder right now
on a 2-year contract.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But like at least Mike Yastrzemski still crushes righties and has a great arm. So it's like whatever. But like this. You just need a guy as your right fielder for the Braves. Just keep moving the boat forward. Keep rowing the boat. At least they have that now.
Sorry about that. My camera just decided to stop working. So I think we were talking about the Braves last. We'll put a bow on it. Like, they're good until they're not.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely blatantly a top 10 team in baseball, and they have a claim to being a top 5 team in baseball, but it's the awareness that if anything goes wrong for this team, I don't know how they plug their holes. And they're
that's
still
why
going
I was
to
so
season.
right last year when I said third place Braves. And they were fourth place, actually, weren't they?
Yeah, they were fourth place. They were behind the Marlins. So this is a great team again. Like if you're starting a video game season, I'd love to have the Braves.
Turn the injury sliders to 0. Braves are probably one of the best teams in baseball.
They could be number 2, honestly, if you turn injury sliders to 0. But there's too much that can go wrong, and I'm scared if anything does, how they respond.
Okay, and then let's talk about the Mariners, because I think this was the last of the common ones that we had here.
Yes. We can even compare Mariners and Red Sox. I'm assuming you had the Red Sox just ahead?
Yeah, Red Sox at 5.
Yeah, so I had Red Sox 6 and Mariners 7.
Okay, yeah. So with the Mariners, it's an incomplete team. Again, there's just pieces of this lineup, like who's playing second base, who's playing third base. I don't really know who's going to be that last corner outfield spot. The rotation's awesome. The bullpen's awesome. The rest of the lineup is really good. I actually really like this lineup a lot, but I don't know if it's enough to say they're that top 5 team right now, especially like I don't know who's going to play second and third base. I have no clue.
I think what's going to wind up happening, I think Cole Young's definitely going to play second. When we talked about the Mariners being incomplete, and we did this exercise a few months ago, a lot of Mariners fans were like, you guys aren't hip to Cole Young? Very hip to Cole Young. I think Cole Young could definitely be quite a good baseball player, but it's just the idea that you're going into the season, Cole Young is probably going to be about a league average hitter. And last year, I know he hits the ball very hard.
He does, yeah.
And he will play good second base defense.
For those of you out there who do chaos home runs, Cole Young is a fun one every single night because he hit a ball like 111 or 112 last year, and he's like consistently one of the worst odds to hit a home run in a game.
And he has great production in the minor leagues, especially comparatively his age to level. He's another classic cold weather high school bat who's now come to the league.
North Allegheny, I think he's from.
Yeah, it's either PA or Ohio, one of those. But Cole Young also, I think last year he had like a 440-foot home run, if I'm not mistaken. It's 456 against Kumar
he can
Rocker.
hit the ball.
Like, he does have that, but it's just when you're a team that has World Series aspirations, you're going into the season with Cole Young, who's, again, probably going to be a league average bat with plus defense, definitely a good player. And then also you're hoping that you kind of start to rely on Colt Emerson. Like, it's a big thing for these Midwest boys coming into this. Colt Emerson, Zanesville guy. Shout out my boy Reed.
And maybe Lazaro Montes in right field at some point.
Probably still a year away from Montes, but it's just like there's a lot you're relying on unknowns for a team that was so unbelievably close to reaching the World Series last year and has a definite World Series rotation that also is missing the depth suddenly.
Yeah, to not go out and make this team better is a crime. Like, I know Jerry Dipoto is considered, I think, one of the more crazy front office guys, but people do respect him.
I respect him.
He's done nothing, though. He's done nothing. Like, they got Jose
do you think
Ferrer.
That's more ownership? You think that's more about him?
I think it's both. I think you could get creative. Listen, if they're not going to spend money on free agency, you got to go make trades. And the trade that they made was Jose Ferrer.
Yeah, I think they didn't want Harry Ford, and they kind of knew they didn't need Harry Ford anymore.
Which is fine.
And also, Harry Ford might not be a catcher defensively, so it's like you want to trade him for a demon reliever, fine, trade him for a demon reliever, but like, talk about getting crazy here. The news that Logan Evans is out for the entire season, like now you're relying on you're relying on Emerson Hancock and Dane Dunning as just SP6, SP7. So it's like, again, for a rotation that a lot has gone right recently, but we still don't know where Bryce Miller is, and Luis Castillo will probably take another half step back. I think Brian Woo's probably could be a top 5 pitcher in baseball. Gilbert and Kirby, I think, could easily be top 10s, even though what Kirby did last year. I think he's going to get those pitch shapes back on track this season. It's just they're another team where if something goes wrong, I don't know how they recover.
Yeah, we're looking at some guys who got NRIs as like backup rotation guys, like Randy Dobnak, the Uber driver. Shout out Randy. Love Randy. I don't know who Blas Castano is, but like there's not much hanging around there. They are a team that also will not put a lot of their good young pitchers into AAA. They'll keep them in AA and just send them right to the majors.
So yes, like honestly, like if you get the Cade Anderson jump, like maybe he could
Senja.
Like Cade Anderson could pitch in the major leagues this year, right? Is that crazy to say?
I think it's crazy, but I love it. I'm in.
Like he will be in spring training. He's an NRI. Like he's going to be 22 years old by midseason. Like
Ryan Sloan.
Like these guys will probably be the next wave that gets the shot. While these guys in AAA are just kind of left here to be spot stars. Like I think Emerson Hancock has no ceiling at this point, but they would like to use him as the spot star. I trust that their pitching development will get the next era of demons. We just have to see them first. Like Bryce Miller and Brian Wu kind of just happened.
They did, and those guys were nothing.
Yes. So again, it could definitely happen again, but it's more about this lineup where, like Julio and Cal Raleigh, in terms of a Major League Baseball duo, it's hard to get better, especially in this tier until we get into the top 5. Do you think they might regret the Naylor 5-year contract? I don't know. Like Robles and Dominic Canzone. I
don't think they are with Naylor. I think, especially seeing what Pete got. I think Naylor was great value, honestly, getting what Pete got.
Reading that Will Salmon article that came out on, I think it was Thursday or Friday, seeing that the Orioles might have panic bought Pete. Yeah. And I've been the only team willing to do 5 years for him, which kind of felt like at the time. But again, like you have a top half of the lineup and a bottom half of the lineup right now, and there's no bridge between them for this Mariners team. And they need Cole Young, Colt Emerson to be the bridge. And you're relying on a lot for those two young guys to be that bridge.
Yeah, the fact that right now, like Victor Robles and Ben Williamson are projected to be playing every single day is terrifying. Yes.
And like Colt Emerson, like he has not really played much minor league baseball at all. No. I think that's something you should be a little bit scared about if you're a Mariners fan. You're like, yeah, Colt Emerson's coming to the show this year. He's going to be great. I have it written down here somewhere.
What's funny about all of this too is we still have them as one of the 10 best teams in baseball. The Mariners are still very, very
Mariners are awesome. It's just you have to nitpick with these teams because it's like, why aren't you a World Series contender? Like that's kind of it. Like I don't know. It's a strange vibe with this team where they kind of need more things to go right to be good rather than the ability to avoid things going wrong.
All right, let's get this top 5 started, James. Who do you have at number 5?
5, I have the Phillies. 4, I have the
Ooh,
Mets.
slow down. We'll go one by one.
Okay.
Because now we're down to the final 5 teams. We'll just talk about these teams.
All right, so
now.
5, I have the Phillies. 5, you have the Red Sox, I'm assuming?
5, I had the Red Sox, and I had 6, the Phillies. So we just had a switch there, and that's me just, I got to. If I have a chance to bump the Phillies outside the top 5, I'm going to do it. And I do think these teams are very close. I think there's things that I like about the Red Sox that I don't like about the Phillies, and vice versa.
To me, I had the Phillies still a nice rung ahead of the Red Sox. I was more comparing the Red Sox to the Mariners, Braves, and Orioles, and I had them at the top of that tier. And I literally flipped the Red Sox and Mariners because at this point, I think the Red Sox pitching is just better than the Mariners pitching, which I could
love
never
the
have
Red
imagined.
Sox rotation. Love it. I know we shit on Ranger Suarez and
He's still awesome. He's still a great pitcher.
Still a great pitcher. It's just I don't think he's the pitcher that people are trying to make him out to be right now. And when I say people, I'm talking about the people who get upset in our comment section. But like Crochet, Ranger, Sonny Gray, Brian Bayo, Johan Oviedo. That's a great 1 through 5. That's a really, really solid 1 through 5 with Tolle and Connolly early behind them. And even if you want to talk about even more depth, you still have Kyle Harrison down there. You're going to get Cutter Crawford back at some point. Like there's legitimate stuff. Patrick Sandoval will come back at some point. They have 10 starting pitchers. And like I just trust that they're going to be pretty good. Bayo looked great towards the end of the season last year. Oviedo looked great towards the end of the season. I think this team's good. The bullpen, I think, is still shaky-ish, but I rolled this Chapman, Garrett Whitlock, Slayton, Weissert. Those are pretty good relievers right there. I think those are 4 solid guys. And then this lineup, similarly to the Mariners, incomplete, weirdly, at the exact same positions.
Yeah, so we love Giovanni Moran. Shout him out for the Red Sox bullpen there. It's just one of the weirdest relievers in the league. But I do wonder like where we see Jarren Duran wind up this year in terms of a player with a wide range of outcomes. Like I'm curious about how just who is Jarren Duran? Like, are you going to be 20% better than league average, 30% better than league average, 10% better than league average? Like, I'm not sure. Like, we could get to the end of this year, and I know hipster Red Sox Twitter's all over this take, but like Wilyer Abreu probably is perceived as a better player than Jarren Duran. But
there's also a world where Jarren Duran just goes back to what he did in 2024, and you're like, this guy's awesome.
Jarren Duran right now might be the DH of this team.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Crazy. So it's going to be kind of funny to see that because I think they've now made the stance and they know it because they're talking about the Romy Gonzalez, David Hamilton platoon of second base, but that Ceddanne Rafaela has to be playing center field every single day. You lose all of what makes Ceddanne Rafaela great if he's not playing center field. And he's that good of a center fielder where you have to play him there. And then, like, it's just Roman Anthony definitely is a star. I wonder if there is any bumps in the road because that's going to be interesting to see.
No bumps.
But they still, like, a lot's going to rely on Marcelo Meyer. I think you're a much bigger Marcelo Meyer guy than I am. But, like, can he be a good hitter? Like, can he be a 750 OPS guy?
I think he can. I think it's super interesting that, again, third base seems to be the spot that they want him, not second base, which is kind of funny. Because there's a third baseman on the free agent market that the Red Sox should be all over, and his name is Eugenio Suarez.
Well, maybe that's also leverage. That probably is what that is.
Because if they get Eugenio Suarez, I think this team's easily a top 5 team in baseball. I think that completely changes the way this roster looks and feels.
Eugenio Suarez, if he's a Red Sox, he might spend the whole season not running.
Yeah. He's just hitting it off the green monster, and it's singles and home runs.
Yes, that's kind of the entire thing. But like also Marcelo Meyer, like does he have like we're going to talk about this Bo Bichette in a few minutes here, but like I don't know where his arm lines up for being a third baseman. Like it's just I don't know what the star potential is Marcelo Meyer, like especially not relative to like Roman Anthony. Like I'm waiting for this team. I want to see what Christian Campbell can do this year. I'm trying to get back in on Christian Campbell after last year.
That's me with Marcelo Meyer. I believe in him too much. I got to see what he can do. Where Christian Campbell, I'm like the fact that they're even like let's go Romy and David Hamilton tells me that Christian Campbell's not even in their thoughts right now.
Possibly. I think some people were probably a little disappointed about what happened with Christian Campbell last year. And also, this is the best rotation in baseball right now. I'll say that definitively.
Yeah, their rotations. Well,
I think so. I think to me it's the best. I think the Dodgers, now that we're getting weird stuff about Blake Snell again, I'm like,
I still think I take the Dodgers, but
I might take the Dodgers. But I mean, also when we start to go SB6, SB7, SB8, SB9, like that's how the Red Sox to me.
Dodgers have a million of them.
I think the Red Sox ones are better than the Dodgers ones.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm taking Early, Tolle, and who's the last guy you said? And Kyle Harrison over Knack, Kasparius, and who's gonna be the last guy with it? This is
River Ryan.
We're River Ryan still
Gavin
top
Stone.
prospect. I mean, I love Gavin Stone.
By the way, did you see Keith Law had River Ryan ranked as a prospect?
That's what I'm saying. It's funny. Still top
28-year-old River Ryan. Guy's going to get his AARP card before he loses his prospect status.
I kind of love this. This Red Sox team is good. They're just like you're one bat away from being such a real squad.
Yeah, get Eugenio Suarez in this team, and I do think that they're undeniably a top 5 team in baseball.
Yeah. So Phillies now.
Phillies. It's just the same team. That scares me. Anytime you say, let's run it back with a
without
team
Ranger Suarez.
Yeah, without Ranger Suarez. They're like, let's run it back, and we're debatably worse, and we're older, and we're also now like, is Justin Crawford's our center fielder, which I think he's going to be a fine player, but I think it's a lot to put on Justin Crawford. Taijuan Walker's projected in this rotation right now because we don't really know still what's going on with Zach Wheeler.
Taijuan was good last year.
No, Taijuan was a pitcher last year. Don't say he was good. He was a pitcher.
SP5, that's good.
Right now he's SP4. Aaron
That's
Nola
true.
was dog shit last year. I can't imagine that happens again. But wow, was he bad. And the underlying stuff is terrifying with him. It's crazy for a team that's so in to not make any moves that tell you that they're in.
I mean, like the one move being out of I mean, they were ready to get Bo Bichette, and I think that's also a strange storyline for them this going into the season because, like, you told two of your starting players who've been starting here for like 4 straight years, like, we were ready to get rid of one of you, or at least
Alec
put one
Boehm's
of you
known
on the
that
bench.
forever. He's known since they started booing him that he was a dead man walking, but yet he's still here.
I like his again. I'm sure that he would have been the odd man out besides Bryson Stott because, like, whatever you want to say about Bryson Stott, he's still basically a league average hitter and a great defender at second base. So it's like Bryson Stott. I think last year was like 4th or 5th among all second basemen in F4, which is hilarious. But
Can I have a take now?
yeah,
Okay, so we said the Braves are the Dodgers of the Padres.
mm-hmm.
The Phillies are the Dodgers of the Braves.
The Phillies are the Dodgers of the Braves. So aren't they just both the Dodgers of the Padres then?
No, because the Braves are like the best version of the Padres. I think the Phillies are the best version of the Braves.
Oh, can I raise you a
Because-
different one? I got it.
Because
Hold on.
their depth is also mega awful.
The Phillies could be the Dodgers of the Cubs.
Oh,
I'm thinking lineup wise. Pitching's a little different, but I think that
the difference is like Turner, Schwarber, Harper might be one of the best 1, 2, 3 in baseball. Like
Yeah,
that's
definitely still is.
unbelievably good. It's not good after that. Like Alec Boehm being your next best hitter, that's not good. That's bad.
even just in general, relying on Adolis Garcia after we just saw like 1,300 plate appearances of a sub 700 OPS.
Yeah.
Like Brandon Marsh is still the same. Like JT Realmuto, talk about panic buys this offseason.
Yeah.
Giving JT Realmuto $15 million a year for 3 years when he's 35 years old, like that's
And they're going to throw him
Crazy.
out for 130 at catcher again.
a huge deal for this team. Is going to be the health of Jesus Luzardo. Like
Yes.
he's last year he ascended to being someone that looks like a top 20 pitcher in the game, but if he's looked like this for spurts before, then something's gone wrong. He has to maintain the fastball velocity, and also who's the real Andrew Painter? The guy that we saw before the Tommy John surgery was going to be a major leaguer at 20 years old and looked like he was going to be a great one. The stuff was not the same last year. The command was nowhere close to the same. I'm more confident that the command snaps back than the stuff does, which is weird to say, but like your stuff's kind of your stuff at this point. Like, again, I still have full confidence in Andrew Painter that he becomes a legit starting pitcher. I think you used that ceiling of like a top 10 pitcher in the whole league, and now
Yes.
they need him to just be a mid-rotation guy. So maybe he does do that. And his bullpen is great. Like this,
Yes,
Philly
bullpen's
team
great.
is still really good.
It's very good.
We're nitpicking. It's just, is Zach Wheeler actually going to come back in late May, early June, like the reports are saying?
I have no clue.
If he does, then they're comfortably top 5, and they're probably ahead of the Mets, who I have them just behind right
Yes.
now. But if we don't know that, it's like, and Sanchez and Luzardo are
Christopher
still
Sanchez
great.
is sick, yeah.
Christopher Sanchez is amazing, but like it's a lot of unknowns for a team that went to the offseason and brought back all the same guys except one of their better players.
And also, I'm going to do my throw a dart here. That didn't know they had Yoniel Kure. That guy's going to be one of their best out-of-nowhere pitchers this year. That dude's disgusting.
They picked him up off waivers, but I think he's still dealing with some injury stuff.
Okay. And well, if he's healthy, that guy's going to be a demon. Just keep an eye out for Yoniel Kure. The Rays had him on their 40-man all of last year, and he was like in high A.
And he's going to be on the 40-man for the Phillies again heading into the year, so he's ready to pitch if he's
Nick
if he's healthy.
Castellanos a Philly by opening day?
No, Pirate? I don't know. Mariner maybe? like whoever.
Mariners should actually get Nick Castellanos. That team could use just a little edge. A little edge.
The White Sox maybe, like the Guardians maybe, like I don't know where, but like I guess not there. And I still don't even know who takes his major league roster spot. Like Aiden Miller could be a big piece for this Phillies team. I think Aiden Miller is awesome, but it's still just like now you're going to let him displace Alec Boehm.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. They have weird vibes right now. They just feel kind of stale.
Yep. And Bryce Harper's not elite according to their GM.
You know who's not stale?
The New York Mets.
Opposite of stale is the Mets.
Number 4?
Number 4.
Nice. Hive Mind wins again. Mets bias. Yeah, I got the Mets at 4 as well. Talk about a completely different team than
Jeez.
what they were last year. Like, you thought the Mets stunk last year? Well, guess what? It's a different team now. And they kept the 2 best players, Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto.
I've been saying this joke on Mets up a lot, but the Mets are going to come to spring training with name tags. They're going to be playing icebreaker games the
it's
first
gonna-
day.
The hello, my name is Bo. Oh, Bo, nice to meet you, Bo.
Hi, Bo. I'm Juan. Nice to meet you, Juan.
I'm
But, like,
Luis.
It's pretty insane how much this Mets team changed. It definitely goes to show how displeased they were with what was going on in that room last year, the way this team just kind of slowly bled out for 4 straight months. And also credit to them and David Stearns for being like, it wasn't okay. Let's make everything different.
Yes, because we've been negative on other teams, I'll start with the negative with the Mets just so that we don't go too glazing with them. That rotation is chaos. That rotation is absolutely nuts. Like, I trust Freddie Peralta. I think Noel McLean's going to be an ace. I don't know if this is the year that he becomes the ace, but he is an ace. I think he has ace ability. And I will say this, I trust in David Peterson and Clay Holmes. I saw 150 good innings out of those guys. David Peterson fell off at the end, but he was incredible up until September. So, like, those four, I think, legit good. I think those are good starters. Minaya and Kodai really are just such the X factors, and both of them might suck.
Yeah, both of them might suck. Both of them also might not, like, pitch. Like, Sean Minaya might be in the bullpen.
Yeah.
At some point. Like, that's Kodai Senga might just leave Major League Baseball at some point. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen with those guys. Same for Clay Holmes. Like, last year, Clay Holmes was great in his first year as a starter, but everything under the hood said he really didn't deserve to be as good as he was. So we're kind of baking in some skill progression, understanding progression of how to be a starting pitcher again to get forward. But, like, all that being said, like...
And the bullpen sucks.
The bullpen's not good. I mean, the bullpen could be fine. I think last year the bullpen, as bad as it was 15th in ERA in the league.
And they'll probably be 17th this year.
I think they could be 13th. But, like, the Mets have talked about the fact that last year they kind of got themselves too tight with their bullpen where they didn't have enough optionable guys. They wound up playing the cut game too much. Where this year they're purposefully going into the season, what they said was 3 open bullpen spots. I think that's intentional. And you see right now, like, in the bottom of their bullpen, this is demon talk right now, hour 10 into this. Like, Huascar Brazoban, Austin Warren, Tobias Myers, all optionable guys who are good chance to break camp with the team if Craig Kimbrell doesn't mix his way in there. Like, you got weird depth guys. If the Mets up people are listening here, like Jonathan Pintaro, Justin Hageman, Christian Scott, Dylan Ross, Alex Carrillo, dirty name, Ryan Lambert. They're going to be in this bullpen mix. This is going to be hopefully a bullpen the way that these Brewers bullpen looked like 4 years ago before they started to really churn. And there are some definite question marks durability wise with this Mets core right now. That should be a huge fear for a team that's ranked in the top 5.
Yeah, Bo Bichette looked really not athletic those last few games. Like, he still hit well, but he did not move well. In terms of durability, like, Luis Robert hasn't really played many games. Jorge Polanco hasn't played many games consistently. Francisco Alvarez hasn't played very many games consistently. Marcus Simeon's just old.
Yeah, and last year, the foul ball that broke his foot, I think it was pretty serious. I think it was the Liz Frank. So that's probably pretty serious for guys 35 years old going to be playing middle infield defensively. So it's like there's so much can go wrong with this Mets team. But also, if it clicks, this roster is objectively speaking disgusting. You guys are going to tell us Mets bias for this, but if you stamped a Padres logo on this team or a Guardians logo on this team, the Glaze Fest would be insane because right now the Mets probably have, you talked about like a top 3 in the Phillies like core. Like, Lindor, Soto, Bichette is
pretty awesome.
Is an outrageous top 3 of the lineup. Like, Freddie Peralta does tie this whole roster back together.
Helps so much.
If Luis Robert is hitting 8th on opening day, it's like...
That's awesome. That's sick.
Insane.
I've only been dreaming about Luis Robert hitting 8th in this lineup.
And that's where we're looking right now. Like, Bo Bichette, there was a great piece by Thomas Harrigan on MLB.com a few days ago talking about why Bo Bichette could have the best season of his career ahead. Bo Bichette has some of the most outrageous splits in all of baseball with runners on versus no runners on. And last year, the guy who hit third for the Mets most days, Pete Alonso, he had the most plate appearances in all of baseball with a runner on base. Over 50%. Bo was barely at 40% last year with the Blue Jays.
And it makes sense because Bo swings at everything. And when there's guys on, you can't really afford to be forcing him to be patient. You have to attack. You have to get the ball in play because you walk him, then you got the bases loaded. Like, the idea that Lindor and Soto are going to be on, Lindor's like a 340, 350 on base guy. Soto's over 400. Every single game in the first inning, the pressure's on. And Bo Bichette has a chance to do some damage. Along with Jorge Polanco behind him, too. Those guys are going to have huge RBI years as long as they stay healthy.
Oh, you might combine for 230 RBIs between those guys.
Like I know whatever the over-under is on Bo Bichette this year, RBIs, I'm hammering the over.
But just you can't really hammer that because of the injury factor. And that's a huge factor for Jorge Polanco as well. Yeah, I guess you can. You can do whatever you want. You're a man with free will. But like there's just those two guys in the middle of the lineup. It's not Pete Alonso. But Bo Bichette could lead the league in RBIs this year. Like
that's a fun one, maybe.
That's the full one that's in play. And like Marcus Semien last year, once the calendar turned to June, like he was good again. He was a 120 WRC plus guy. I'm not assuming he will be that because it's been 2 bad years. Brett Baty also last year, like once he got a starting job, he was great. Francisco Alvarez down the stretch was great. Like we're gonna get
all of the the grand baseball doesn't understand the Brett Beatty, Francisco Alvarez change that happened last year.
And Carson Bench is one of the best prospects in baseball. And the Mets seem dead set in having him on this team by April because they want the PPI eligibility for him. And again, like the Mets rotation, like as long as McClain can be fine, I'm not even expecting the ace jump this year. I think there'll be some regression from last year. Like just be a guy who could be a 3.5 ERA guy and pitch every 5 days, 6 days probably, because the Mets are going to run with a 6-man rotation. Then like any of this shit that can go wrong, if any of it goes right in the back of the rotation, you get to kind of coast with a top 5 lineup and then be a middle of the pack pitching team. That's how you win a division and you get to the show.
And I'll say this too, it's going to be dirty. Mark Vientos he's trying to be a Major League Baseball player. Keep that. He's going to get an opportunity early in the year. 2024, he was a huge piece. Huge piece. I've lost my faith, but mash lefties. That's it. Just mash lefties, and you have a spot.
And again, like we talk about starting pitcher 6, starting pitcher 7, like the Mets going with a 6-man rotation of all Major League caliber guys. Like we hope they stay that way. But then thinking about Jonathan, Christian Scott, and then a new prospect that everyone's about to get really hip to this spring training, Jack Wenninger. Like these are guys who the Mets are doing things right now in player development that other teams in baseball I don't think are doing. Like Lance Brozdowski, one of the greatest pitching wizards we have in the modern game right now. So the Mets pitching development is number 1 in the league. Like you're going to start just seeing demons pop up every single which way. Like watch out for Jonathan Pintaro this year. Like you're going to hear names. You're going to be like, what? Who in the world do the Mets have right now? But like that's just where this team seems like they're going to turn a corner and get to that spot. And if that pitching depth comes to fruition, and you don't get anything out of Minaya, Sanger, Clay Holmes, but one of those guys like shows up in the rotation, like if Jonathan takes a step forward developmentally, if Christian Scott is healthy, if Jack Wenninger just is too good for us to deny, it's like then you're filling it up from the back end right now, and then like the floor of this team gets a lot higher with things that we can't really predict at this moment.
Yeah, I do think the Mets are a top 5 team, and I think this, like you said, if you slapped another logo on this roster, I think people would be going crazy about this team.
It is, but there's a stench. It's fair to say, but also like. Not many teams have 2 of the 10 best position players in baseball.
Number 3, New York Yankees for me. Who do you got?
New York Yankees.
Do we have the same 1, 2, 3 then?
And 4.
Dodgers, Blue Jays, Yankees, Mets, and then we had our 5, 6 switched.
Yeah, which is basically the same, yeah.
Yeah, basically the same. Talk about the Yankees real quick. They are doing the thing that I always get nervous about, which is let's run it back.
Also, they're the Dodgers of the Phillies.
Yeah, there you go.
Yankees are the Dodgers of the Phillies. 100%.
We're just going to keep using this over and over.
Because they're running back such a good team. And I think Yankees fans are frustrated. The fact that they're running it back, there's not a lot of change going on. This roster is fucking awesome. Like they're running it back with Garrett Cole. Oh God! Like what a bad situation there. And like for Yankees fans,
my is too juicy.
For that Yankees fans without Devin Williams, so it's like that's the Mets problem now. I think he's still going to be a top 5 closer. But like Ryan Weathers was a great underrated pull. Like Fried stabilized everything. You're gonna get a full year Cam Schlittler, who just looks like such a dude.
Good ball player. And
you're gonna get Garrett Cole on top of this. And this lineup was the best lineup in baseball last year. And they might be again.
Yeah, I mean, Judge is unbelievable. He does a lot. He does a lot of the carrying of the water. But Ben Rice is a great ball player. Cody Bellinger is gonna hit 30 home runs in that stadium. He's perfect for there. Trent Grisham was really good. Like the contract was crazy, obviously because but it's 1 year, so whatever. Like,
and also the way the outfield market developed, like. Yankees probably like, all right, I don't want to pay 2 outfielders this year.
Yeah, and it was only bad if it meant they weren't getting Bellinger, and they got Bellinger. So now who cares? It's just they are trying any way possible to not play Jason Dominguez because he stinks. But
yeah, clearly,
if Giancarlo Stanton's healthy, what he did in the small sample he had last year, he looked
best
totally
season of his
back.
career.
He looked totally back. Jazz Chisholm, most underrated player in baseball. I'll keep saying it. Jazz Chisholm's so fucking good. He did 30-30 last year and missed 20 games.
I think he missed 30 games too. He missed it was a grade 1 oblique strain. He was back in 2.5 weeks.
He's unbelievably good.
Also, I think the Jason Dominguez thing is again a runaway train. Like he probably still can be a good baseball player, and I do think that you keep him there because you know that Giancarlo Stanton will get hurt.
Has to,
and then you can let Aaron Judge DH sometimes, and Dominguez can play some corner outfield and DH himself. Like that's a fine thing. And
he can stand in the outfield. He doesn't really play.
Dude, Jose Caballero was so good for this team last year too, and he was exactly what they needed, which was kind of fucking sick. Like
which is not Anthony Volpe.
I mean, he played about 40 games. He played 5 different positions. He had 800 OPS. He stole 14 bases.
Yeah, he's chaos.
The OPS is not going to stick for Jose Caballero, but this team desperately needed some defensive versatility and some athleticism. And Caballero provides that. He's a little spark plug. Like he's fun. Ryan McMahon can't be as bad as he was, right?
Probably. I mean,
maybe.
He is just an 80 WRC plus guy every year. So he probably just is that at the absolute worst. So let's just say you got the worst version of him.
This Yankee bullpen also is complete chaos outside of Bednar. And Fernando Cruz and Tim Hill are both quite good. Camilo Doval, sometimes you just don't know which Camilo Doval you're getting, but that's the Camilo Doval experience that the Yankees paid prospects to be a part of. Same with Jake Bird. There's a lot of this Yankee bullpen this year is going to rely on Jake Bird, who got sent down last year, and he has another option. And then it's kind of going to be about whether or not they can make relievers in the aggregate like they have kind of the last few years. Who steps up to be the next Yankee reliever that we didn't see coming?
Who am I going to pick? I think the fun one that you might see in relief this year, even though I think he's going to end up being a starter, Elmer Rodriguez, when he dropped the Cruz.
Elmer's nasty.
Just because he throws 100 with an insane sinker and he just throws gas and put him in the bullpen, you're going to get some crazy, crazy shit out of him.
They picked up Kervin Castro off the Giants, who was, I think he was a position player, moved to the rotation, who got moved to the bullpen 5 years ago, throws 100.
Angel Chavilli.
Yeah, Angel Chavilli.
He's going to he throws gas. And
he throws 100 too.
Was just in Colorado, and I'm not really sure why they got rid of him.
Yeah, for nothing either. Brent Hedrick also got breaking balls like the Yankees love to have, and then they're going to try Dom Hamill in the bullpen. I'm sure I picked him up off the Mets.
They got another Met?
Ben Hess and Carlos LaGrange are both really fun Double-A pitchers who might jump up, do Cam Schlittler jumps if they show the stuff to do it. Spencer Jones, I don't know, 25 years old, maybe it's time.
Maybe.
This team is really good, but it is boring because it's the same.
They have Seth Brown? I didn't know he was still playing baseball, Seth Brown.
This Yankees team, I think objectively, roster is better than the Blue Jays, but they could not rank them ahead of the Blue Jays after what the Blue Jays did to them last year.
Yeah, Blue Jays pantsed them and said, "We're better than you. We're better." Blue Jays number 2. I think there's a wide range of outcomes of what this Blue Jays team could do, but I'm going to believe that they're going to be good because I think this roster is good. I think they have, like you mentioned before, a ton of pitching depth is really important. They have a ton of pitchers. That was off air. That was not here. But they have a ton of pitchers. The bullpen's good enough. I think there's a wide range of outcomes, but they were just such dogs last year that I think that might be a culture thing where the fluctuation doesn't matter. The culture stabilizes it.
If you guys have any questions, Mark and I just do this show all the time off air, and sometimes we turn the camera on. That's when we turn it into a video. But this Blue Jays team, their floor is going to be so high because of the depth of their rotation. And there are big questions right now about Shane Bieber's health. There was a report a month ago that he was taking it easy and experienced fatigue, which probably is why they were so aggressive after Dylan Cease and Cody Ponce. But Gosman, Cease at the top is fantastic. People dog on us the way we talk about Dylan Cease, but the guy's a top 12 pitcher in baseball.
And if he's not, then you guys were right. But
yeah, sure, whatever. We're lower than the field on Trey Savage. He's also disgusting.
Yeah,
Trey Savage is going to pitch this whole year and probably have a 3.5 to 3.9 ERA, which is great for a 22-year-old rookie. The same kind of way we're going about Nolan McLean right now. Jose Barrios I don't think he's very good, but
great 5.
They're just relying on him to be depth and get innings. Cody Ponce, I'm into. I think he's going to be a fun pitcher, and they're not paying him much. So if he's not good, he'll just go back to the bullpen, hang out there. They're going to try Ricky Tiedemann again. I think there's some growing belief in some of the guys that have in Double-A. I know Gage Stanifer is someone who's invited to spring training. I think he was a back-end hipster top 100 prospect. There's Bowden Francis is still down there. They got
Eric
people.
Lauer.
They got dudes, and then that dude. The dude's the wrong word. They got bodies.
They got guys.
It's the right word. They got bodies. And I think bodies are really what you need to get through the slog of the season. This bullpen is...
Can't forget big Yariel Rodriguez.
We forgot about Eric Lauer as well. Eric Lauer is going to do the same thing he did last year, which is show up in July when you need him most and be just good enough to get you by.
Yeah, and I do think their lineup is just incredibly solid. This is just going to be a good team offensively. Springer can't be what he was last year, but he's still going to be good, I think. Barger's good. Vladdy's awesome. Santander has to bounce back. There's no way he was as bad as he was. Kirk's good. Varsho's good. I think Okamoto's going to be the nice piece that really ties this lineup together, though. I'm super excited to see what he can do in Toronto.
The Blue Jays weirdly in their lineup, there's a lot of ways for them to be a great lineup, but also a lot of ways for them to be kind of a worse than we think lineup. It does probably wind up averaging out to being a very good lineup, but not a great one.
Which is why I put them at 2.
Just because, like you said, I if Springer does what he did last year again, I'll be wow, the Blue Jays have found the fountain of youth.
Yes.
But between him, Santander, Kirk, Varsho, Okamoto, all of those guys can kind of be between slightly worse than league average and 30% better than league average, truthfully. Yes. And it just kind of depends on the ratio of where those guys wind up as to how how great this Blue Jays team could be. And Vlad will stir the drink in the middle. I love Barger, but he's also in that group too of like, I don't really know. And Clemente Jimenez will be good defense and get big hits down at the bottom. But like,
Andres Jimenez's projections are so being carried still by that year.
that
94
one year.
WRC plus. If it's above 70 this year, I'll be shocked.
he's also probably going to be a great defensive shortstop. And he's a great
Yes.
defensive shortstop, but it makes the whole thing
doesn't
okay.
matter, yeah.
And Tyler Rogers was a big bullpen pull for them. He's going to really raise the
Really
floor
good.
of a bullpen. That's chaos with Hoffman, Yimi, and Garland.
Louis Varland. Hit the Louis Varland button.
We got to give him that guy a break. He should be able to take April off because of how much he's
No
pitched
spring
in the
training.
playoffs. Like, you let Louis Varland stay on ice until May 1st. But like, it is a chaos bullpen, which is why a guy like Rogers, who's like not sexy, but he's reliable, it was a great move for them.
And when you have a great defense like the Blue Jays do, Tyler Rogers is perfect. You're going to get
Yeah.
outs. That was a huge reason why he struggled more with the Mets than you expected, is because the Mets defense was pissed.
Horrible, terrible. I keep talking about this guy because if we talk about depth when we do these power rankings, I like Leo Jimenez as middle infield depth for them. Not signing Bo Bichette, it puts a lot on both Clement and Jimenez, and then David Schneider's just not. I don't think he's going to play a lot of second base. He's going to be lefty matchup for them. So, like, I think you're going to see a guy like Leo Jimenez come up this year, and it came up a little bit last year, but just have a shot to play a little ball and see what he could do with some interesting batted ball data and probably good shortstop, good defense at second base.
And then we'll be quick with the Dodgers at number
Yeah,
one.
the fucking
'cause
Dodgers, whatever.
They're boring, whatever. This team's unbelievable, top to bottom. It is so clearly ahead of every other team in baseball.
Yeah, it's just they're going to win 100 games. We have to get to the playoffs and hope variance takes on. Someone can knock them out in the DS, and we can have some fun in the CS.
That's basically the thing. Is just hope chaos playoff baseball ensues. Because once you get to the playoffs, you can lose. They're going to lose series to bad teams this year. They're going to lose 3 in a row at some point.
And we will say, like, this Dodgers team, I think signing Kyle Tucker is what put them this whole tier ahead of the league. I think
Correct.
without Kyle Tucker, they would have been very mortal this year, which I think a lot of people don't think about. And I think that's why they went so aggressively for him and gave him the highest AAV deal by a long shot in the history of baseball. Like,
But yeah, this team's insane.
seeing 2 years of poor batted ball data from Mookie Betts makes me think that we never see an 870 OPS again from him.
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman is going to turn 37 during the season. Like,
Has
he can't
to slow down at some
Can't do
point.
this forever. Like, Teoscar Hernandez was not good last year at all.
No.
Like, I think he'll bounce back and be good, but I don't think he'll be great. Like,
Andy Pa has had 2 bad months of unplayable.
but also Andy Baz is like a 5-win player. He'll probably
Correct.
be able to do
Yeah,
that again.
yeah,
And,
no, I know,
And,
yeah.
and the team just doesn't have a second baseman, so it's like, again, this is not like the most impenetrable Dodgers team ever. But getting Kyle Tucker again put them a full tier above the rest of the league. Sadly,
And Edwin Diaz in the bullpen too.
Edwin Diaz in the bullpen's fucking crazy. It's ridiculous how expensive this bullpen is.
And you know what's
now.
even crazier is they have one of the best farm systems in baseball. So like if there are any things, it's like let's
They'll
see
make a trade.
let's see what our good young players can do.
Or just trade them and get another good professional player. Like Josue DePaula, Mike Sirota are nasty outfield prospects. Nasty.
Let me ask you this, James:
Why
Is
the
the
Quintero?
Dodger how many games would the Dodgers AAA team win more games at the major league level than the Rockies?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Their
Their rotation's better.
do they have to play in Colorado?
Yeah, they also play in Colorado.
I think that changed. I don't know what Kyle Hurt looks like in Colorado.
What about like River Ryan, Kyle Hurt, Robleski, Gavin Stone, Landon Knack? Like, let's say that's like better than the Rockies right
These
now.
guys should sue the players union because it's bullshit. They're going to be making minor league salaries because all those guys are major league caliber pitchers on like 20 teams in the league.
The average age of those guys is like 28. That's crazy.
It's ridiculous that they've just stockpiled all of these guys. So you're right talking about them before how good this Dodgers pitching depth is, but like
Yeah.
all these guys are coming off Tommy John. Like definitely want to see what they all look like. But I love Gavin Stone. Robleski's fun enough. Landon Knack is probably going to come back with a new pitch, throwing 2 miles an hour harder because he does that like every year.
It's good. It's a good
This
team.
Dodgers team's really good. They're really annoying how good they are.
And that's what we got for you. That's an hour and a half.
Power rankings.
Baseball. Flow state. Hope you guys liked it. Subscribe to The Windup. We appreciate the amazing support. Follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
I'm Draftneck Mark. Sneak peek. If you've been here this long, podcast coming soon. Audio version of this coming soon. So keep posted for that. Follow us on all our social media. Links in the description. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.